Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen to YouTube NM Enterprise 7. My name is Nicole, and today I'm just going to talk about one specific comment. This is from Veronica Moe, who says, please do a video about ex-narcissists that you divorced, okay? Still hanging around your family and keeping in touch with them after all, you had a divorce, right? They're still calling your mother and their mom, and they think he's still an uncle to the family, and that's all because we had kids, and yet we live in two different states. So absolutely, one of the things a narcissist is going to do is when they cannot connect to you, they connect to other people within or around you. Okay, in this case, this is a narcissist who's reaching out to the family. In the past, I have been on the outside looking in when this has happened, and I'm saying, this man is no longer interested in you, so why do you feel like coming around my grandmother, right? This person is no longer talking to you, so why do you feel the need to talk to her favorite uncle, cousin, whoever? You see, we got these people who do this because they are feeding off a narcissistic supply. When they're doing this sort of thing, it is their way of staying connected, staying on top of, using various power plays of manipulation, letting folks know that in a slick little way that you're the problem, even though you're not the problem. But, you know, she was hard to deal with. I mean, you see, I'm getting along with you. And they're also looking for any information that they can use against that one who divorced them or broke up with them. Okay. I personally have suggested in the past that family needs to be on board in terms of distancing or cutting off communication. But when you have family members who do not respect your wishes, this is where you have to distance yourself from them. And they should not get any updates on your personal life because they are still in communication with the narcissist. Okay? They should not be allowed to come to your house so that they can take what they've learned about your setting and then tell the narcissist, oh yeah, she got some new furniture and she bought this and she did that. I mean, so if these people want to continue to deal with someone who you have divorced, who you have moved on, then you can cut them off. And as time goes on and they're wondering, how come I don't hear from you? How come I don't come around? Or how come you don't come around? You can simply tell them, because I don't feel comfortable with you communicating with A, B, C, D, whoever this person is, or their crew. Okay. If your family members don't respect that, that's on them. There's no sense in arguing. You already spoke your truth. You wanted them to do something. They feel like you're being unreasonable. You're being controlling. I can see why he divorced you or why you divorced him. You tend to be difficult. Whatever the narcissist has said, whatever they have observed about you or whatever, that is irrelevant. What we're focusing on is disconnecting from narcissist members of the family, or once was a part of your world, but still connected to other people. And then I would have to say that a person who's still communicating with the ex-narcissist who gave you so much grief, I mean, they don't care too much about you, do they? I mean, they know that you hurt behind this person. Maybe the person was emotionally and or physically abusive, and yet they're still talking to him. So you talk to the enemy? That doesn't sound like family to me. Because see, the true ride or die types of folks, the people who are the family members that will stand behind you, those type of family members are not going to sit over there and break bread with a narcissist. God himself will show you, and I've said this in another audio, he will show you who the Judases are. And sometimes it takes a narcissist to show up in a family for you to see the truth for what it really is concerning a family member who's nothing more than a Judas. Thank you, narcissist. You did me a favor because you showed me that my mama really is not all that. She's not all that supportive. My daddy is not really standing behind me and shows me the type of love. Nope. Instead, he's about the criticism and the fault finding. Thank you, narcissist, for showing up. Narcissist shows up talking about, yeah, I'm still cool with your sister and your brother. And you talked about how they had your back. Looks like they don't have your back. They knew you got abused by me. They knew that you was giving me money and everything else. I'm out there flirting, out there having a good old time. They knew all of this, and yet they still opened the door to me. Some family you got, you see. And I know it hurts to find out that a mother is not really supportive of you. And a father could care less about what goes on with you. But once you see the truth for what it is, that's why I say go to the one true God. Ask him for a new family. Come on. Ask him for a new network. Ask him to bless you with the love in your heart so that if you do see them out there on the street, you're smiling, you're looking good, you're not bitter. You're sitting up there and you're saying things like, hey, how you doing? How's everybody? Oh, they're good. When you coming over? Nope, I'm not coming over though. Well, when when can I come to your house? Oh, no. You showed me your true colors, remember? Oh, I thought you wasn't bitter or resentful. No, I'm not. I'm just being guarded because you showed me when you were being buddy with somebody who had disrespected me. Oh, see how you are? You don't forgive? No, it's not about not forgiving. At the end of the day, did you ever apologize? Did you ever apologize for coming over here or going along with whatever the narcissist said? Or going over his house. I mean, some of these folks, they like these narcissistic exes so much to the point where they have even considered on having sex with them. Okay. Some of these folks will go so far as to buy for the narcissist. Why? Because, I still want to see my grandkids. Okay, well, you could do that, but do you have to buy for him? You see, some of these people that are supportive of the narcissist who's showing up and being all sweet and nice, sooner or later, they're going to be hung by the narcissist as well. I see why you don't really deal with him. I see why you divorce him, girl. Well, sometimes God allows certain things to happen. And you can sit back and watch the movie from a distance because they didn't want to believe you when you said that he was a liar. They didn't want to believe you when you said that woman was nothing more than a scandalous whore or something. You see, some of you all, you got these stories. They didn't want to believe. And so sometimes it takes them to be up in the face of your non-believing family members who like to fault find with you, but everybody else outside the family is okay. It takes them to have to be used and abused. So let it happen. But you don't have to be that one that's affiliated with those people. Or if you do have to be affiliated with them, as my grandmother said some years back, you got to treat them from a long-handled spoon. That means that I'm not going to be close to you. I'm going to deal with you from a distance. Okay? So the ex-narcissist, he might think he's winning because he's all up in the faces of your family members and friends. But at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to happen is that he's getting close enough so that they can see who he really is. And then they can make their own decisions. They can figure some things out. They're big people. They don't need you to warn them about, you better watch him because you know how he was, because they don't want to believe you anyway, especially if he's nice looking and got some money. I hate to say it, but some folks are like that. You know, they're very shallow. Anybody who's nice looking, anybody who got some money, they're all in. If you were fine and got a bunch of money and was buying up love, so to speak, showing them love through gifts and all sorts of things, then maybe they would be all over you. But at the end of the day, God, he will allow the narcissist to be exposed. He will eventually show you that all of what is taking place is for good reason. When you're a child of God, all things work together for good. Don't forget that. The good, the bad, and the otherwise, right? I thank you for reaching out because it is important to talk about how these ex-narcissists will work their way into the families and then stay there for a while. But also if your family is reachable and they're close and they claim to have your back, then they will be very careful dealing with that narcissist and then eventually fade him out, okay, or fade her out. That's usually how it goes over time. Sometimes they can't drop them right away simply because there's children involved. But then as time goes on, they start to distance themselves. If they don't want to lose you and you're not making it comfortable for them in terms of their connection relationship that they have with the narcissist, then they will say goodbye. Because who wants to lose a daughter behind a narcissist? Who wants to lose a son? If I love you like I claim, I'm going to be supportive of the fact that you're no longer with your girlfriend or with your boyfriend or with your wife or with your husband. I'm going to take those pictures down. I had to have a conversation with a relative some time back. I'm like, why do you have pictures of this person all over your house? They're not with her any longer. And that person said, well, I like the way my son looked in that picture. Yeah, but he's not with her anymore. But apparently she knew something that I didn't know, because later on in life, they ended up getting back together. But we heard through the grapevine that was not a happy reconciliation. It was the same old. If anything, at times things got worse. But sometimes you see, we think that a person is out of our lives, and lo and behold, the person is back in your life. And maybe there's some relatives who think that you are not done with that person yet. I know, right? They don't think that. And so they are going to keep hope alive. They're going to keep a candle out for that person. But if you are sold out on the fact that you're done and you're no longer showing emotion toward that person, you're no longer talking about them or caring about who they're involved with, your family knows that to be true about you, then they're not going to keep that line of communication open, unless, of course, they're being fed from the narcissist. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. And thank you so much, Veronica Mo, for reaching out. Blessings to you. Please pray for yourself as well as your family members to get free and get gone from a narcissist. Pray that the narcissist will find some supply somewhere else. Sometimes they'll distance themselves too once they have found new supply. So the person 9 times out of 10 has not found somebody who they consider good supply yet, but when they do, they'll fade away. They will fade away. Well, thank you once again. Please do check the description box for anything that might be of interest. You've been listening to YouTube Enterprise 7. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and we do welcome giving. Thank you.